Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to all the students of Europe Hotel School. You're stepping into an industry that is changing faster than ever, and a lot of that change is being driven by technology. As a hotel AI expert, I've seen firsthand what works and, well, what really doesn't. So today, we're going to break down how you can successfully bring AI into your hotel, not by focusing on the tech itself, but by focusing on what truly matters, our people. And this quote right here, it really gets to the absolute heart of the matter. You could have the most powerful, most expensive AI platform on the planet, but if your team is afraid of it, if they're intimidated by it, then that massive investment, it's basically worthless. And that fear, the fear that a robot is coming for their job or that the new software is just too complicated, that is the single biggest hurdle we face in hospitality today. So, how do we get over that hurdle? Well, we've got a plan. We're going to walk through 5 key steps. First, we're going to tackle that human barrier head on. Then, I'm going to introduce you to a tool that I like to call a GPS for software. After that, we'll talk about how to completely reframe the conversation around AI, how to build a team of internal champions, and finally, why you have to keep investing in your human capital. All right, let's dive right in with that human barrier. Look, the biggest challenge in any digital transformation isn't the technology itself. It's people. It's human nature. Staff members worry that AI is coming to replace them. So as a future leader, your first job isn't installing software, it's understanding and managing that very real fear. Okay, so what's the actual solution here? It really all comes down to focusing on the human element through a structured process called change management. And we're talking about way more than just a simple training session here. This is about building a culture where technology isn't seen as a threat, but as an empowering tool that actually makes your team's jobs better. But how do you actually practically support your team through that kind of change? Well, you give them a guide. Think of it like a GPS for software, a tool that's specifically designed to help anyone navigate a brand new system with total confidence from day one. Now, the official term for this GPS is a Digital Adoption Platform, or DAP for short. You might have even heard of some of these, like WalkMe or WhatFix. Essentially, what they do is create a software layer that sits right on top of your other systems, like your hotel's property management system, and it gives real-time on-screen instructions exactly when and where your staff needs them. And you can see just how simple it is. A new feature pops up, and instead of panic and confusion, your team gets a clear, on-screen guide. Imagine your front desk agent needs to process a complex group booking. Little bubbles pop up saying, "Click here first." Then, enter the group code here, guiding them through every single step. The task gets done perfectly, in real time, and nobody had to go look for some dusty old training manual. And this brings 2 massive benefits. First, from an operational standpoint, you slash your training costs and time. But maybe even more importantly, you dramatically lower what we call tech anxiety. When your team feels like they have a guide right there with them on the screen, their confidence just soars. And that confidence is the key to getting them to actually embrace and use the new technology. But here's the thing, technology is only half the solution. To really make AI work, we also have to change the way we talk about it. And that brings us to our third big idea, shifting the entire story from one of fear to one of empowerment. This is absolutely crucial. As a leader, you have to stop talking about AI as a replacement for people. Instead, you need to frame it as a superpower for your staff. It's a tool that automates all the boring, repetitive, tedious tasks, which frees up your team to do what humans are amazing at, which is connecting with other humans. And this slide really breaks it down perfectly. You let the AI handle what we call robot work, all the stuff on the left, the data entry, the report generation, the routine questions. This frees up your team's time and energy for the human work on the right. Things like empathy, creativity, and solving those really complex guest problems that a machine could never, ever figure out. Let me give you a real-world example of what this looks like. Imagine your concierge. Because an AI is handling all the simple questions, they're not bogged down explaining where the ice machine is. Instead, they can spend 15 uninterrupted minutes helping a guest plan the perfect surprise marriage proposal. That unforgettable emotional moment, that is the true value. That is your real return on investment. That's what hospitality is all about. Okay, but to make this kind of cultural shift stick, you can't do it by yourself. You need to build a powerful support network inside your own team. And that leads us to our fourth strategy, creating what we call AI champions. So, how do you do it? It's a 3-step process.
First, in every single department, find those people who are naturally curious and excited about new technology, and they're not always the managers. Then, empower those enthusiasts to train their own peers. People learn best from their colleagues. And this last one is critical. You have to celebrate and share every single small win. Every time the new tool makes someone's job easier or helps create a great guest experience, you share that story. That's how you build momentum.
And that brings us to our final and honestly, maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle. Technology never stops changing, right? So your training can't just be a one-time thing. It has to be an ongoing, continuous commitment to learning and development.
And guess what? We can use those same digital adoption platforms we talked about earlier to make this happen. Adapt is the perfect tool for pushing out what's called micro-learning updates. So when your main software gets a new feature, you can send a quick 2-minute tutorial right to the screens of the people who need to see it. It's a simple way to make sure your team's skills are always up to date.
And all of this really leads us to the core thesis of our entire session today. Yes, technology is an incredibly powerful tool, but at the end of the day, that's all it is, a tool. The true differentiator, the one thing that creates legendary, unforgettable hospitality, will always be your people. The most successful hotels of the future won't just invest in AI, they will invest just as much, if not more, in their human capital. So, as you continue your studies and get ready to start your careers, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. In a world that's becoming more and more driven by data and technology, how will you, as a future leader, ensure that your people, your human capital, always remain your greatest and most valuable asset? Thank you for your time.